before the drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for Hornets.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? This is the TFG Sports Show, the best 30-minute sports talk show on social media. I am your host, Kendrick. I hope everyone is having a great Saturday. It is the day after Cinco de Mayo. All my people, I'm sure you was out having you a couple of those margaritas and all the rest of the fiesta, the festivities that go on with that. So I'm sure some people may still be sleeping and recovering from too much tequila. But I hope you all had a great Cinco de Mayo and hope you're having a good start to your weekend. Again, this is a TFG Sports Media Show. I'm your host, Kendrick. Make sure you come in, you hit that like, hit that share button, share it to all your social media platforms, and most definitely, certainly last but certainly not least, make sure you comment so we can have a conversation. We're going to talk a little bit of sports, some of the biggest sports news that happened this week. So again, happy Saturday to you. Again, make sure you like and share this to your social media platforms and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. That's TFG Sports Media on YouTube, and like and follow TFG Sports Media on Facebook. And do me a solid, make sure you subscribe to my personal sports YouTube channel, Kendrick Sports Hustle. That's SPORTZ HUSTLE, and make sure you like and follow Kendrick Sports Hustle on Facebook as well. So again, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into this thing. Let's go ahead and start off with our sports quick. We're talking college football. Yes, college football playoffs. If you didn't know, it will be expanding coming the 2024-25 season from 4 teams to 12 seasons. Well, they finally released how the format will be. The CFP will be a 12-team format, and the schedule was released again this past Tuesday. That will be used in the 2024-2025 postseason, and it will feature New Year's Day triple headers, but no quarterfinal games on Saturday. The championship game will be on Monday, January the 20th in Atlanta for the 2024 season, and Monday, January the 19th in Miami for the 2025 season. And by the way, January 19th just so happens to be my born day. So, and also that will be, that's the holiday, Dr. King's holiday. So anyway, so I will be able to watch, the good Lord say the same, a national championship game on my born day 2 years from now. So that is our first quick hit. Now let's move to our second quick hit. We're talking NBA, and we're talking the MVP, and we're going to talk more about Joel Embiid here in just a second. Well, he won his first MVP trophy on Tuesday for this past season. He finished ahead of the Nuggets center Nikola Jokic and Bucks forward Giannis Antetokounmpo. The MVP was renamed, if you didn't know, after Michael Jordan. So now it's called the Michael Jordan MVP Award as part of an overall overhaul of the league's awards. Now, Embiid averaged 33.1 points per game. He led the NBA this season, 10.2 rebounds, 4.2 assists, 1.7 blocks, and he shot 54.8% from the field. And he has helped his 76ers to capture the number 3 seed in the East, where they are facing off against Boston, which they took an L last night. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that here in just a second. So again, congratulations to Joel Embiid for winning his first MVP award. And he's the second African-born player to also win the award. Do you know who the first was? The first was Hakeem Olajuwon, who won it back in 1984. So we say congratulations to Joel Embiid. Terrence Stone is in the house. What's going on, Terrence? Thanks for dropping in, my man. Good to see you. Good. Glad you popped in. Hope you're having a great weekend. So that was our quick hits we had for today. We're going to go ahead and jump. We're going to stay in the NBA. We're going to move to the NBA playoffs. We're going to talk about the recap of last night's game. Had the Celtics and the Sixers was the first game, and then we had the Nuggets and the Suns, the nightcap. Well, let's start with the Celtics and the 76ers. The Celtics is the number 2 seed in the East, and the Sixers is the number 3 seed, as I just mentioned. The Celtics leads this series now 2-1 with that win last night. Celtics got the W, 114-102 over the Sixers in Philly. The Celtics, Jason Tatum, led the Celtics with 27 points. He was 10 for 20 from the field. He also had 10 rebounds. Jaylen Brown for the Celtics had 23 points, 7 rebounds. He was 8 for 18 from the field. And all the Celtics starters were in double figures. Now, that's what you call getting a balanced offense. All 5 of the Celtics starters scored in double figures. Now, for the Sixers, Joel Embiid, this was his first game back. They also did the presentation of the MVP trophy to him last night. So it's some nostalgia, little emotions in the building. I was reading where Joel's son, his little infant son, ran out and jumped in his arms, and Joel Embiid was very emotional about that. And he came to play. Even though he still got that right knee, he's a little gimpy. I don't think he's 100%. But he put 30 up there. He gave the Celtics 30 piece. He had 13 rebounds, and he was 9 for 19 from the field. The problem with the 76ers offensive last night, James Harden. He only had 16 points. He had 6 rebounds. He had 11 assists, but he was a woeful 3 for 14 from the field. Tyrese Maxey was a woeful 4 for 16 from the field. He put up 13 points and 6 rebounds. So basically, Joel Embiid was the engine that made the car go for the Sixers last night, but he needed more of the moving parts, and James Harden and Tyrese Maxey, they just had a ho-hum game, and they're going to have to bring it. I think if the Sixers got a shot at winning this series, they're going to have to bring it. Definitely, Harden's got to shoot better. He's been in a slump. Matter of fact, I ran across a stat. The last 2 games, Harden is 5 for 28 from the field in the last 2 games. That's his worst shooting percentage in consecutive games in his career, playoffs or regular seasons. He hasn't never shot this bad 2 games in a row. So he's going to have to bring it. Definitely Harden is going to have to bring a little bit more to the table. As far as the Celtics, man, they got to keep doing what they're doing. You know, with Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and you got Marcus Smart defending Harden. I mean, they got the tools. I think the Celtics is probably going to win this series, but I think the Sixers. I think this thing is going to go at least 6, in my opinion. But I think the Celtics will win. I think they will hold up and win this series. As far as the health of Joel Embiid, I think right now he just got to. He's toughing it out, man, because I think he did go to the back. I think the first quarter, it may have been in the second quarter. He did, when he checked out the game, he did go to the locker room to probably get some sort of injection in that knee, because right now it looks like he's not going to be 100%, period. But again, James Harden is going to have to bring it, you know. Again, he only had 16. You know, that game 1, he went for 45. Everybody was singing his praises, which I thought it was a heck of a game. He did his thing. But they're going to need more of that. They don't necessarily need him to score 45 points with Embiid back, but he definitely got to get double doubles. He got to get a 20 and 11, 25 and 11. He has to have that, in my opinion, for the 76ers to have a chance in this series. Terrence says, if James Harden can't average at least 25 points in this series, Philly can't win. Boy, we on the same page, Terrence. I agree. He got to get at least 25 for them to have a shot in this series. So they play again on Sunday. We'll see what happens then. It's in Philly. I expect him to have a better game on Sunday, but he got to shoot better. He got to shoot better from the field. Now let's talk about the Nuggets and the Suns. The Suns, they were in a 2-0 hole. They were able to get the win at home. The Nuggets still lead the series 2-1. Suns got the victory 121-114 over Denver. The Suns, Devin Booker, he put on a shooting clinic. He went for 47 points last night. He was 20 for 25 from the field. Again, 20 for 25 from the field. He only missed 5 shots. You talking about efficiency. Devin Booker was in his bag last night. He also led the Suns with 9 assists. Now, you know the Suns are without Chris Paul. He probably won't. I don't see him maybe even playing this series if the Suns can get past the Nuggets. I don't definitely see him returning in this series. At least he won't be 100%. And Durant, he put 39 up. 39 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. He shot 12 for 31 from the field, and I think he was like 14 for 16 from the free throw line. Durant was, so he made a living at the free throw line. Now the rest of the Nuggets, rest of the Suns starters, they scored a combined 13 points. So you know what that tells me? Devin Booker and Kevin Durant will have to carry this team if they want a shot against the Nuggets. Now the Nuggets, all everything center Nikola Jokic, he had 30 points. He had a triple double, 30 points, 17 rebounds, 17 assists. He was efficient. He was 11 for 19 from the field. Jamal Murray, he put up 32, 6 rebounds. He was 13 for 29 from the field. And Michael Porter Jr. was he put up 21 points. He was 12 rebounds and 7 for 14 from the field. So the Nuggets, the Suns got the win, 121-114. Again, it was all Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. And I think that's basically going to be the recipe for the Suns to even have a shot. DeAndre Ayton was benched. He wasn't giving them anything. Monty Williams decided to go with, I forgot his name. He decided to bench Ayton and go with the other guy. I can't think of his name right now. And so, and they not having Chris Paul. So that means they gotta definitely put the ball in the hands of Devin Booker a whole lot more. You're gonna probably see him running the offense a whole lot more, controlling the tempo. He and Kevin Durant. But again, the Suns had to win that game. They couldn't go down 3-0 and expect to beat this Nuggets team, but they did get the victory 2-1, 121-114 last night, and now they are only down one game. So the Nuggets still in control of this series as of right now. Now let's talk about the game tonight. We got 2 games today. We got the Heat and the Knicks. They tip off at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got them first, and then the nightcap, we got the Lakers and the Warriors. That series is tied 1-1. The Warriors put a spanking on the Lakers on, was that Wednesday night, I believe, 127-100. The Lakers did take game 1, 117-112. Now the scene shifts to Crypto.com Arena in LA. Now the Lakers have won 9 straight game 3s when the series is tied 1-1. So that tells me that they got a shot at winning this game 3 tonight, but they need Anthony Davis to show up. They will not be able to win this game if Anthony Davis puts up only 11 points. They won't have a shot against this Golden State team because we know Golden State, they're going to want to push the tempo and all that. So that's where we at with that. Now, the game 2 stats, Klay Thompson, he put up 30 points. He was 11 for 18 from the field, and he was 8 for 11 from the three-point line. And Stephen Curry, he put up 20 points. He was 7 for 12 from the field, and he was 3 for 5 from the three-point line. And the Lakers, LeBron James, he put up 23 points. He was 10 for 18 from the field, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Again, Anthony Davis only had 11 points. That's not going to cut it. Anthony Davis has just been inconsistent. I think he's one of the, if you can keep him healthy, if you can keep him out of street clothes, as Charles Barkley calls him, if he can stay on the floor, that's the guy that really makes this Laker team tick. I think it starts with him. But he's been inconsistent. One game he'll put up 27, a double-double, and then the next game he'll have 11 and 7 rebounds. That ain't happening. The Lakers need more from him. He has to show up for this team to have a shot, especially against the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors are really going to want to push this tempo. So that game is the nightcap tonight. I believe it's 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. That is the Lakers and the Warriors. And again, the Heat and the Knicks, they play today on ABC. That's at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that series is tied 1-1 as well. The Knicks got the victory in game 2, 111-105. Jalen Brunson, what can you say about him? The Knicks, Jalen Brunson, he's everything. That was a really, really good steal for the Knicks to grab him from the Dallas Mavericks. Jalen Brunson had 30 points. Julius Randle had 25 points. They led the way for the Knicks in game 2 in the Heat. They didn't play Jimmy Butler, that right ankle sprain. They saying he's most likely going to play today, and they already are without Victor Oladipo, who has a torn left patella tendon, and Tyler Hero, who has a right hand fracture. So the Heat are limited in far as their guys that they got. I'm picking the Knicks probably to find a way to win this series, man. And New York is going to go nuts. They already going crazy, but I'm kind of picking them to win this thing. Jalen Brunson, again, I think that was a very, very big pickup for the Knicks. As you can see, he is the one that makes that team go. So again, that's the early game today on ABC at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Terrence says the Suns need some bench scoring to help take the pressure off Durant and Booker. They do, Terrence. And again, the other three starters only combined for 13 points. They're gonna have to have some help from those guys too. Again, I don't think Durant and Booker are going to have to carry him, but I don't think they can win with just those two against Jokic and Murray and Michael Porter Jr. and the rest of those guys that the Nuggets got they can throw at them. So yeah, they definitely going to need some help, man. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you on that. So we'll see what happens. I think they play again on Sunday, so we'll see what happens with that. All right, so we're going to move on to our next story. We're going to stay in basketball, but we're talking women's basketball. And this story it's probably not unusual, but you really didn't hear a lot about it. It didn't get a lot of media coverage. I stumbled upon this story a couple of days ago, and the head coach, women's basketball coach of Miami, Ohio, Deanna Hendricks, she had to resign. She was basically forced to resign on April the 26th after intimate text messages revealed she and a player were in a relationship, according to a report in The Athletic. How did that pop up there? Hold on. I don't know where that come from. Excuse me, guys. I'm having to. I don't know where that came from. Sometimes these computers, you never know what you're gonna get. These computers be doing something. I don't know, but I don't know why that's up there. I had somebody join my show, but it's a silhouette. I don't know where that came from. But anyway, we're gonna keep this thing rolling. But anyway, I'm sorry, Deanna Hendrick. She was there. We go. She was forced to resign because of an improper relationship with a player. Now, the player was not named in this actual report. The university did discover 180 texts between Hendricks, who's 38 years old, and an unnamed player over an 11-day period. 30 of the messages reportedly were considered intimate and included phrases such as "I love you," "You're my baby," "I can't wait to squeeze you." The player also made intimate comments during the text exchanges, including professing her love for Hendricks. Now, Hendricks went 35-80 in 4 years at Miami of Ohio after she went 125-93 in 7 seasons at High Point. So here we go again with a coach-player improper relationship. And the double standard on this, in my opinion, is a lot of times when it's a woman coach and a relationship with a player, it doesn't get all of the hoopla. I don't want to say hoopla, but it doesn't get talked about or shown in as much as a negative light as it does if a man is in a proper relationship. Again, I know that's the double standard, but this is one of those things where the coach player relationships, you got to be careful. Again, she's 38. She's not very young, but she know better. You're in a position of authority and of power. So sometimes, those relationships can make it feel like that the player has no choice but to move forward, especially when it comes from someone in a position of authority over them. And you're talking about young, impressionable women. I mean, I don't know the age of the player, don't know her classification, but she's no more than 21, so that's still young and impressionable. And so for a coach to take advantage of a athlete like that, yeah, they got to go. You got to go, woman or man. You got to go. So she was allowed to resign, and so what that means is now she can move to another school because she hasn't been convicted of anything. She can move to another school and get a head coaching job. So that's another thing. So I'm not saying the woman's career should be done, but should she be allowed to coach at that? Should she be allowed to be in a coaching profession with dealing with young people, young women at all? I would say no. But again, this is what you see happening a lot in athletics. You see this happening in other places as well, in on regular jobs. So again, they decided to go ahead and allow her to resign, so she will be able to get another job somewhere. So we'll see. I keep you updated on that and posted on that story. Now let's move on to Coach Prime. Yeah, we talking. Coach Prime is at Colorado. I know he's been in the news a lot lately, especially with this transfer portal stuff. We'll talk a little bit about that, but we want to talk about the NBA. The HBCU and the NFL and the lack of drafting of HBCU players. If you didn't know, the NFL draft happened last week, and there was only one HBCU player drafted out of the 7 rounds in the NFL. One. And his name, Isaiah Bolden, cornerback out of Jackson State, who played under Coach Prime at Jackson State. The Patriots selected Bolden in the 7th round after having only 4 HBCU players selected last year. Now, 17 were signed as undrafted free agents this year, which is that's a good thing. So we're happy about that. But Coach Prime wasn't happy, and he let it be known. He sent out a tweet. Here's the tweet. He actually, first of all, he was congratulating Isaiah Bolden on getting drafted, but then he added the NFL. He says, "I'm ashamed of the 31 other at NFL teams that couldn't find draft value in all of the talented HBCU players, and we had 3 more draft-worthy players at JSU." That was Coach Prime's tweet out, wishing Isaiah Bolden, congratulations, and supporting his former player, and also calling out the NFL. Well, Will McClay, he will respond a couple of days later. If you don't know who Will McClay is, he's the Cowboys vice president of player personnel. And he says he responds to the criticism, and I quote, this is what Will McClay says, there's not a conspiracy against drafting HBCU players, but he thinks the players have to have draftable grades to be drafted. Okay, that's fair. And I get that. In his opinion, he says, so basically Will McClay is saying that most of the HBCU players don't make the grade. That's basically what he said right there, which I disagree with. Now, the NFL they have started a combine for HBCU players. They started it in 2020. This year, 47 players took part, which was attended by all 32 teams. Now, in the last 5 NFL drafts, and I looked this up, a total of 1,272 players have been selected. Only 18, that's 1.4%, have been from HBCUs. 1.4% in the last 5 drafts, players drafted have been from HBCUs. And I would say I will call out. I think Coach Prime should call out the NFL. What's happening, Real Estate Insider? Good Saturday to you, my brother. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. So I'm like, yeah. So what are you say grades? Okay, what are those grades? Grades determine being drafted. Yeah, it does. Real estate. It depends. Every team basically gives players a grade on a scale. Whatever scale that means, they have a scale that they come up with grades. If a player is a 90 or a 80 or 70, it's all different for different teams, but they do have grading scales. And there's a certain criteria, I'm assuming, according to Will McClay, that you have to meet this certain grade to be draftable, which that doesn't make sense to me at all. But that's what Will McClay's saying. He says that they have to be great. They have to meet this grade average, whatever that means. So but here's my question would be, so you're telling me that HBCU players don't make the grade? They don't score high enough to become draft eligible? I just find that baffling. But the numbers say that I guess it does. Because according to this stat that I found, only 18 HBCU players have been drafted in the 5 NFL drafts, and that's 1.4%. Well, we did have one that was very successful last season that played at Jackson State by the name of James Houston, who was drafted by the Detroit Lions. I think he came in and had a heck of a first season, and he came out of Jackson State. So I think the NFL is just making excuses. I think that's an excuse, in my opinion. What Will McClay just said. Oh, so not academic. Oh, no, not academic grades. It's athletic grades. It's their ability to play certain positions, whatever their position be that may be. No, not academic grades. Real estate insider. So that is the case with this. And Coach Prime's, again, he has a point. And I know everybody right now, the heat is on Coach Prime because of what's going on at Colorado. The transfer portal has been a big issue right now. A total of 51 players have entered the transfer portal at Colorado since Coach Prime took over in December. So that's been the hot topic so far for him. But I think he's right. I think you telling me out of 259 players that were selected this year, that only one from an HBCU was draftable. And then again, 17 would sign as undrafted free agents. I just think that's a bunch of BS. Will McClay is making up. And speaking of Will McClay, again, he's the Dallas Cowboys scouting player personnel guy. They did sign a guy out of Florida A&M, a linebacker. One of the best linebackers in HBCU football too. So they did sign him as an HBCU undrafted free agent. I read that a couple of days ago. So we'll see about that. I think the HBCU football it needs to get a little bit more respect. With Coach Prime no longer there, I think it's going to the light is not going to be shown on it as much as it had been. But I applaud him for keep speaking up for him because even though he's no longer there, he's still rooting for those, for HBCU football and HBCU athletics to win all together. So that's that with that. So we getting down to our sports wrap, man. We're gonna wrap this thing up. First of all, I want to thank the Real Estate Insider. I want to thank Terrence for popping in, talking a little sports with me. I hate to end on a sad note, but I gotta mention this story that I didn't realize how talented this young lady was. I really didn't. I didn't even remember. But we had a death this week. We had two. But Tori Bowie. If you don't know who Tori Bowie was, she was a three-time 2016 Olympic sprint medalist and 2017 World 100-meter champion. She died at the age of 32. Her cause of death hasn't been released at this moment. She was raised by her grandmother in Mississippi. She converted over from the long jump to the sprints in 2014, and she was the world's fastest woman in the 100 meters. That year, at the 2016 Rio Olympics, Bowie won the 100-meter silver and 200-meter bronze, and she anchored the 4x100 women's relay team to gold. Then in 2017, she won 100 meters at the World Championships. She remains the lone American woman to win an Olympic or World 100-meter title since Carmelita Jeter did it in 2011. So again, such a sad story. According to Orange County, Florida Sheriff's Department, someone called in to do a welfare check. They went to her home and they found her in her home deceased. I also read an update to that according to a report that looks like she was 7 months pregnant, 6 to 7 months pregnant, according to this report. That hasn't been confirmed. Also, one of her neighbors said that she had been having some erratic behavior the last couple of weeks. They've seen her, something to that effect. As far as erratic, don't know what that neighbor meant. And also her family member would post on social media that basically alluded to that they thought that maybe there was some mental health issues going on with her in their posts. So this is just a sad story all the way around. But I want to send my condolences out to the Bowie family, to the track family, to this sister, man. Again, she was a 3-time Olympic medalist, and she has passed away at the age of 32. So again, condolences to the Bowie family and to the USA track and field family as well. So again, that's going to wrap it up for me for this Saturday morning. I hope everybody will have a great weekend. Don't forget, we got NBA basketball today. The first game, the Heat and the Knicks, they tip off at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time on ABC. We got that one. And the nightcap, we got the Lakers and the Warriors. Speaking of that game, this is game 3, and tickets are going for like $3,000, almost $3,500. It's like the highest ticket price ever for a game 3. Anyway, so that we got the Lakers and Warriors tonight as well. So again, I want to thank the Real Estate Insider. I want to thank Terrence for popping in. If you watch this later, make sure you drop me a comment. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. That's TFG Sports Media on YouTube and on Facebook. And do me a solid, make sure you go over to YouTube and subscribe to my personal sports YouTube channel. That's Kendrick Sports Hustle. That's SportzHustle. We doing pretty good over there as well. So again, you all have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy this beautiful day. I'm going to get out your hair because now I found my outro. We'll talk to you next Saturday. I'm out. Peace.
I press the button and the doors go up. Whoa, that money clip us now, the new now looks like. Whoa, upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like. Whoa, 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 whoa. I hit record it, drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for